Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Renee Roxanne. Today I will be showing you how I create this concentrated Ayurvedic herbal hair oil using over 30 different herbs. This oil is meant to heal your scalp, stimulate hair growth, and protect your hair strands to retain maximum length. This oil carries high levels of anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antioxidant properties. This oil has the ability to strengthen the hair follicle and the shaft, stimulate hair growth, wound healing, itch and flake fighting, and dandruff and psoriasis eliminating abilities. If you'd like to see how to make your own herbal or Ayurvedic hair oil at home to obtain and maintain long, healthy tresses, stay tuned and let's get right into this video. To make any hair oil, you must first decide if you're going to use fresh herbs or dry herbs. Dried herbs are highly concentrated compared to fresh herbs. They tend to hold a higher moisture content and can allow for your oil to go rancid. If you have fresh herbs, I recommend air drying them on a screen rack or by hanging them, or using a food dehydrator or air fryer to dry them out quickly and efficiently. Now you must decide if you want to use a slow cold infusion, which is king. You will have to allow the herbs and oils to soak naturally for 2 to 4 weeks in a sealed jar. The quick heat method isn't recommended, but it can be done when your temperature remains under 110 degrees. Any temperature higher than that can degrade your herbs and your oils. Here are all of the supplies you'll need. Your herbs, of course, a carrier oil, a wide mouth large volume jar with a tight sealed lid, a colander, as well as a cheesecloth. You will also need a container to store your finished oil, as well as a spoon and spatula and a scale. To begin, you'll add all the herbs to a jar. It should measure out to be at least 2/3 of herbs in the container. You can use less or more herbs for a stronger infusion. I am making a large batch for myself and family. I do recommend using anywhere from 1/4 of a teaspoon to 1/2 tablespoon for each herb, or 1.5 to 8.5 grams if this is a personal batch. Rosemary, Rosmarinus officinalis. Rosemary contains terpenoids, essential oils, alkaloids, and flavonoids. The most potent active components are triterpenes, phenolic diterpenes, and phenolic acids, including rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid. Out of these phenolic compounds, rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid possess the most medicinal effects, including anti-inflammatory and antioxidants. During a clinical trial, the results showed that rosemary is one of the most effective strategies for the treatment of androgenic alopecia, and it is often compared to minoxidil in its effectiveness on increased hair growth. It can be used as an alternative to minoxidil to treat AGA. It is scientifically proven that rosemary is useful in reducing hair loss and increasing hair growth. Studies also show the effects of rosemary on increased memory and cognitive function over an extended period of time. Bay leaf, Laurus nobilis. Bay leaves contain vitamin A, B, and C, and minerals such as magnesium, iron, and calcium. It also has anti-inflammatory properties to treat dandruff and scalp infections. It mostly contains tannins, flavonoids, alkaloids, and eugenol. Allspice, Pimento dioica. Pimento berries, Jamaican pepper. Pimento was found in Jamaica during the 16th century, so this berry is repping hard from my home island. Its use has been incorporated in the Indian traditional medicine, the Ayurveda. Ayurveda, or Ayurvedic medicine, is the study of life, taking the natural and holistic approach of health and wellness. Pimento contains antibacterial, anti-tumor, anti-prostate, and anti-cancer properties. Jamaican grown berries are of a more premium quality, containing higher levels of essential oils, which give it more flavor and potency compared to other allspices grown in other Caribbean islands. If you don't want to use a blender, you can mortar and pestle all hard seeds or berries. You should grind your herbs up first to increase nutrient distribution by increasing the amount of surface area that comes in contact with the oil. Grinding herbs increases its potency by accessing and releasing the bound terpenes inside. Cardamom, Elateria cardamomum, true green cardamom. It contains lipids and sterols, which create anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties, as well as limonene, which protect the hair from environmental damage like pollution and UV radiation. Star of anise, Illicium verum. It contains flavonoids and monoterpenoids, which has hair growth promoting properties. Star of anise is antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and has antioxidant properties. Peppermint, Mentha piperita. Peppermint has been used for its skin conditioning for ages, and it has anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, anti-allergenic, anti-tumor, antifungal, and has a strong level of antioxidants. In a study done when peppermint essential oil was applied topically for 4 weeks, it promoted the elongation of hair follicles from the epidermis down to the subcutaneous, which is the deepest layer of the skin. Clove, Syzygium aromaticum. It is packed with eugenol at 50%, which stimulates the follicle and promotes blood circulation. Eugenol is used as an anesthetic and antiseptic in medicine. Clove is also packed with B-caryophyllene, eugenyl acetate, and A-humulene, which has analgesic effects that can relieve pain. That's why they use clove oil on sore and inflamed gums. These listed compounds carry antioxidants, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, anti-cancer, and analgesic properties. Sesame, Sesasum indicum. They are rich in fat, protein, minerals, vitamins, dietary fiber, lipids, and lignans. Lignans are a class of plant compounds which can reduce hair loss and promote hair density by influencing hormone regulation and protecting against oxidative stress. Studies have found that sesame seeds contain 21.9% protein and 61.7% fat, and they are rich in minerals such as iron and calcium. Cinnamon, Cinnamomum osmofloeum, and Cinnamomum verum. I am using cinnamon bark, leaves, and powder. The common cinnamon we use in cooking is Cinnamomum verum. The topic for today is Cinnamomum osmofloeum. It's antioxidant, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, wound healing, anti-HIV, and antidepressant. Data revealed that the COK leaf extract promotes KGF and mRNA expression. KGF stands for keratinocyte growth factor, which promotes hair fiber elongation and protects hair follicles from apoptosis, and directly affects the growth of your hair follicles. To determine the benefit of COK extract in human hair growth, scientists assessed the impact it had on human hair dermal papilla cell proliferation over 48 hours. Proliferation is the rapid reproduction of cells. The extract showed significantly higher proliferation than the negative control group. It showed a significantly stronger effect on the proliferation of DPCs as compared to normal. Similar to minoxidil, COK extract can induce the proliferation of HDPCs. Extract markedly increased the number and size of the hair follicles as compared to the untreated group and the minoxidil treatment. The 1% and 20% COK extract promoted hair follicle elongation from the subcutaneous to the epidermal skin, revealing that the extract induced early onset of the anagen phase and stimulated hair growth. The histological profiles of mouse skins suggested that COK extract enhanced hair growth, increased skin thickness, and formed follicles in the subcutaneous layer. Even if you don't obtain this specific cinnamon, any other cinnamon will do because they all carry many of the same benefits like cinnamic acid. In a study, it led to the upregulation of oxytocin receptors and trichogenic gene expression in human DP cells. These findings suggest that cinnamic acid enhances the hair growth ability of DP cells via oxytocin signaling. Additionally, they tested the hair growth promoting effects of cinnamic acid using hair follicle organoids in vitro and observed that cinnamic acid significantly promoted hair growth and created peg-like hair sprouting. lemongrass, Cymbopogon citratus, and Cymbopogon flexuosus. Cymbopogon citratus possesses various pharmacological activities such as antibacterial, antidiarrheal, filarial, fungal, mycobacterial, antioxidants, hypoglycemic, and neurobehavioral. It contains mainly terpenes, alcohols, ketones, esters, and aldehydes. The aldehydes play a role in hair growth by reducing oxidative stress in hair follicle and significantly increases during the anagen phase, leading to hair shaft elongation. In a study, they applied lemongrass, Cymbopogon flexuosus, active against lipophilic yeast, which is our skin flora. They put lemongrass essential oil in a hair tonic at 5, 10, and 15%. It showed reduction of dandruff significantly within the first 7 days of application. The hair tonic formulation with 10% of lemongrass oil was the most effective preparation. Moringa, Moringa oleifera, tree of life, or miracle tree. Moringa leaf is rich in flavonoid, quercetin, vitamin C, beta-carotene, which is an antioxidant that the body converts to vitamin A, linoleic acid, and antioxidants. Dried leaves have an oleic acid content of about 70%, which makes them suitable for making moisturizers. Flavonoids have potent anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antioxidant, and free radical scavenging activity. Quercetin can stimulate hair growth by activating the MAPK and CREB signaling pathway, which increases cellular energy, metabolism, and growth factor secretion. Flaxseed, Linum usitatissimum. They are a multi-component system with bioactive plant substances such as oil, protein, dietary fiber, soluble polysaccharides, lignans, phenolic compounds, and a host of vitamins and minerals. Flaxseed oil is a rich source of essential fatty acids, including linoleic acid W6 and linolenic acid W3, which regulate prostaglandin synthesis and hence induce wound healing process. Both are essential fatty acids that are important for your human health. Linolenic is an omega-3 fatty acid and linoleic is an omega-6 fatty acid. Humans have been eating flax seeds for thousands of years. In Ayurveda, flaxseed has properties like madhura, balances the skin pH, and many others. Black cumin, Nigella sativa, fennel flower, black seed. Nigella sativa, which is the black cumin seeds, has been extensively studied for its biological and therapeutic potential and has been found to possess a broad spectrum of activities such as antioxidant, antibacterial, anti-cough, ulcer, fungal, asthmatic, cancer, inflammatory, and many others. Black cumin seeds contain fatty acids like linoleic acid at 64.6% and palmitic acid at 20.4%. It also contains significant levels of iron, copper, zinc, phosphorus, calcium, thymine, nagellicine, thymoquinone, niacin, pyridoxine, and folic acid. It also carries hundreds of phytoconstituents, which include mainly alkaloids, saponins, sterols, and, of course, essential oils. Black cumin was first found in the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, leaving it to be understood that it played an important role in the ancient practices of Egypt. It has been described as a miracle plant mentioned in the book of Isaiah in the Old Testament of the Bible and by the prophet Muhammad as a cure-all for diseases. Black seed shampoo contains more than 100 valuable ingredients. It is an excellent source of vitamins and minerals, so it has powerful effects on the skin and hair. Fenugreek, Trigonella foenum. It is a leguminous herb traditionally used in Ayurveda for its medicinal properties. Fenugreek has also been used in the home-based hair care remedies in India. The seed extracts possess antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-dandruff activity. Malassezia is a lipophilic yeast that is commonly found in the sebum secretion-enriched areas of the skin, such as the trunk, back, face, and scalp. It is responsible for a variety of cutaneous and systemic infections such as Malassezia folliculitis, seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff, and even psoriasis. Phytochemicals of aqueous fenugreek extract showed a predominant presence of flavonoids, apart from alkaloids, saponins, carbohydrates, phenols, and proteins. Aqueous extracts, more than the ethanolic extracts of fenugreek leaves, exhibited activity against a clinical isolate and commercial strain of Malassezia furfur. The extracts were also found to be active against other pathogenic fungi such as Aspergillus niger and Candida albicans. Presence of alkaloids along with the rest of the phytoconstituents in aqueous extract could be responsible for its activity against Candida. Unlike the ethanolic extract, there is a lack thereof. Frankincense, Boswellia carteri. Myrrh, Commiphora myra. Though they are two different plant compounds, they are commonly used together. The main chemical constituents of frankincense and myrrh are terpenoids and essential oils. The main pharmacological effects are anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer. It has been used for centuries in the West. Many use it as incense, but in Ayurvedic medicine, they are used mainly for the treatment of chronic diseases. In traditional Chinese medicine, when used in combination with each other, they seem magically powerful, creating a synergistic anti-inflammation, anti-cancer, analgesic, and antibacterial. Frankincense and myrrh essential oils had a certain osmotic promoting effect on ferulic acid. The compounds found in both could promote the elimination of capillaries from the skin epidermis to the dermis by increasing skin blood flow. It may change the conformation of lipids and keratins in the cuticle, increases the fluidity of the lipid bilayer in the cuticle, and change the orderly and dense structures so as to increase the permeability of the skin. Though it is commonly used to improve blood circulation and remove blood stasis, believe it or not, there is a patented Chinese prescription called Zhihuang used to treat various types of cancers. I'm not sure why we're still using chemotherapy in America instead of traditional Chinese medicines and Ayurveda. You can either choose holistic and traditional medicines or you can choose pharmaceutical. Chocolate, Theobroma cacao. Cocoa. The antioxidants and polyphenols in cocoa pods are one of the most prominent ingredients. The content of the skin husk is rich in phenolic compounds. The content of polyphenols in green tea can inhibit the activity of androgen receptors that cause hair loss. It can be estimated that the skin of cocoa fruit can potentially overcome the problem of hair loss, especially in androgenic alopecia. People of the Dinka Linggarjati, West Java, Indonesia have been using the cocoa pod husk skin to overcome baldness and several other skin problems. A study was done previously. It verified that the waste skin of cocoa fruit or waste cocoa pod husks had the efficacy to overcome baldness or alopecia. Minoxidil, which is a drug to overcome hair loss that's on the market, was used to compare. Cocoa pod husks starting from 15% concentration of water extract significantly increased hair growth activity. Proven from existing data, cocoa pod husk can be an alternative treatment for hair loss or alopecia. Therefore, this research suggests that cocoa pod skin cream with a concentration of 12.5% can be used for growth as an anti-alopecia medication. Coffee, Coffea arabica. Arabica coffee. The byproducts of the coffee industry are coffee pulps, which are the outer skin, pulp, pectin layer, and parchment, the spent coffee grounds, and other waste materials. Coffee pulp is a valuable resource containing a diverse range of nutrients such as proteins, carbohydrates, fats, fibers, as well as antioxidant substances, including flavonoids, phenolics, and caffeine. Caffeine and phenolic compounds in the coffee extract have been reported as anti-hair loss agents through the activation of hair growth factors. Androgenic alopecia is caused by androgens, inflammation, and oxidative stress. This is the most common hair loss which affects both genders, namely male pattern hair loss and female pattern hair loss. The proposed mechanism which would counteract DHT-induced miniaturization of the hair follicle include phosphodiesterase by caffeine, which increases CAMP levels in cells and therefore promotes proliferation by stimulating cell metabolism. In a study, caffeine was added in concentrations of 0.001% and 0.005%, were found to counteract the suppressive effects of testosterone on hair growth, with a higher hair shaft elongation seen at 120 hours after caffeine administration. Brander also proved in a study by doing their double-blind placebo-controlled trial that caffeine application causes a substantial reduction in the transepidermal water loss in men compared to women, thus improving the barrier function in men who need it the most. Regarding the route of delivery of caffeine, hair follicles are considered an important route for drug delivery. The beneficial effects of topical application of caffeine in AGA can thus be attributed inhibition of phosphodiesterase, improvement in barrier function, follicular penetration, stimulation, and promotion of hair growth. Thus, it does appear to be very useful in managing AGA. Now I'm going to take all of my loose, ground, and blended herbs and pour them into a large bowl. I'm using a spoon to combine the mixture thoroughly. I measured out my herbs equally into 3 separate containers. They are all 2/3 of the way full. Cocos nucifera, coconut oil. I'm filling up a deep bowl with boiling hot water and placing another bowl inside of it. I'm putting a hefty amount of coconut oil into that empty bowl and setting it off to the side to melt. It consists of monolaurin, capric, lauric, and phenolic acids and antioxidants such as tocopherol. Its saturated fatty acids is one of the richest sources of medium-chain fatty acids. Coconut oil is an emollient which seals the cuticle and traps in moisture. It has saponification abilities, it is a lubricant, and has antibacterial and antifungal activity because of the monolaurin. Olea europaea, olive oil. The oil contains linolein and palmitin, however the main component is olein. It also contains sterols, triterpenic oils, and phenolic compounds. The virgin olive oil is a rich source of antioxidants that contains flavonoids, lignans, and secoiridoids. The effects of olive oil is its emollient effects, but coconut oil still stands more superior. It has UVA and UVB photoprotection. It has antifungal qualities and can calm symptoms of psoriasis. Ricinus communis, castor oil. It consists of glycerides, ricinoleic, dihydroxystearic, palmitic, and linolenic acid. Castor is the only oil in the world that contains over 90% of ricinoleic acid, which is a hydroxy fatty acid. Effects on the hair are its moisturization abilities, nourishment to the hair follicles, germicidal and fungicidal effects, and its ability to aid in hair growth, especially those suffering from AGA. Charthamus tinctorius, safflower seed oil. It has high levels of unsaturated fatty acids and phytochemicals. It contains 90% of the total unsaturated fatty acids, of which 14% are monounsaturated fatty acids and 76% are polyunsaturated fatty acids. The main constituent is linoleic acid, which accounts for 74% of the total lipid content. Prunus amygdalus, almond oil. In Ayurveda, this oil has been known to have aphrodisiac properties. It consists of monosaturated fatty acids, polyunsaturated fatty acids, which is linolenic acid, and oleic acid. It also consists of linolenic, stearic, and palmitic acid. It is a rich source of vitamin E. It is an emollient, and it protects against ultraviolets and increases hair elasticity. Arachis hypogaea, peanut oil. It is a legume that packs an excellent source of oil, 50%, protein for energy at 25%, and dietary fiber at 9%. There are 8 fatty acids found in peanut oil, and the 3 most concentrated are linolenic, oleic, and palmitic acid. It has an excellent lipid profile, higher in unsaturated than saturated fatty acids. Peanut oil has high levels of vitamin E, which is beneficial for dry, brittle, and damaged hair. Peanut oil can soothe dandruff and psoriasis. Now that all of our oils are combined, we're going to pour it all over our dry herbs until they are completely submerged and covered by at least 1 to 2 inches. You will want to use a spoon and give your oil a good stir, lifting the herbs. I'm adding olive oil to top off the herbs so that everything's completely covered. The herbs will suck up a good amount of this oil, so you will start to see some disappear over time. I almost forgot, but we are also adding in argan oil, Argania spinos, argan oil. It is composed of monosaturated at 80% and saturated fatty acids at 20%. It contains sterols, polyphenols, tocopherols, squalene, palmitic, stearic, linolenic, and linoleic acid. Its effects are moisturizing, sebostatic, which regulates sebum secretion, and it increases elasticity. I am adding in a couple drops of vitamin E oil to stabilize the oil and herbs and keep it from going rancid. You can do this after your herbs have completely infused and they are bottled. I will also be infusing my herbs with essential oils as well. Melaleuca alternifolia, tea tree essential oil. Tea tree and its components exhibit strong antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. It can calm acne and other inflammatory skin diseases, and it can also aid in AGA. Cymbipogon flexuosus, lemongrass essential oil, is antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidants. The aldehydes in lemongrass can increase the anagen phase, leading to hair shaft elongation. Consistent application can reduce the symptoms of dandruff. Mentha piperita, peppermint essential oil. Peppermint is anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and has a strong level of antioxidants. When applied topically for 4 weeks, it promoted elongation of the hair follicles from the epidermis down to the subcutaneous, deepest layer of the skin. Give the herbs another good stir to incorporate everything well. Now grab airtight lids to seal your jars. You can put them in a dark place or a sunny window. I like to put mine in velvet bags, but I'm moving in a few weeks, so I'm using something with handles. I will come back and stir these once a week because the herbs become condensed and settle to the bottom. I'm putting them in the window to get the warmth from the sun to help them infuse. Herb-infused oils can last up to a year if you used all dried herbs, and they are stored in a dark, cool place out of direct sunlight. It has been exactly 9 weeks of our oil and herbs infusing. I'm using a spoon to lift the ingredients off of the bottom so that it will pour out gently and smoothly. I will do this to all of my containers. Now I'm using a large bowl with a fine mesh strainer inside. I am using an organic cheesecloth folded to place it into the mesh strainer. It's time to pour our oil into the cloth all at once. Use a spatula to stir and push the herbs to the side to help make space for the oil to drain through the strainer. Look how dark and lovely this oil is looking. This is some super concentrated liquid gold right here. I'm folding the arms of the cheesecloth together and holding it closed with one hand. With the other hand, I am squeezing the herbs, starting at the top and working my way down. If you're not careful, herbs will come flying out. Continue to squeeze until all residual oil is completely out. I snagged another bowl to throw the herb trash in. You can always use these herbs again by boiling it for hair tea, reinfusing some oils, putting it into a scalp scrub, a body scrub, or using it as plant fertilizer. Mine is this dark because it is ultra concentrated. I used chocolate, coffee, and nigella, which darkened the color. Now it is time to bottle and store the oil in a tinted container with an airtight lid. I will be double filtering the oil to have as little residual herbs and sediment as possible. I have a funnel, a mini strainer to go into the funnel, and a clean organic cheesecloth to go inside of it. Put the funnel into the mouth of the bottle. Gently pour the oil into the container. You may need a spatula to help stir things up and get them moving. Also, lifting the cheesecloth up and out of the mouth of the funnel will also help the oil to run down much quicker. Don't forget to monitor your oil as it fills up so that it does not overflow. Keep your bowl nearby for the rest of the oil to drain into. I'm putting on the cap nice and tight and setting that oil to the side. If you loved how I created this herbal oil and all of the educational information provided, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video to anyone you think should know this beneficial information. And please ring that notification bell and you will see me in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.